Our next property of exponents is the power of a quotient property. The learning objective for this lesson is to understand the power of a quotient property. So let's say that we have the expression 2/3 raised to the fifth. So using my definition of exponents, I can expand this to 2/3 times 2/3 5 times. Oops. So I see that if I were to, let's rewrite this so that I don't have my parentheses, but I just have, I can see that I have 5 factors of 2 on the top in my numerator, and I have 3 factors in my denominator of 3. I can rewrite this, again, using my definition of exponents. To simplify, my numerator would be 2 to the fifth, and my denominator would be 3 to the fifth. And then I could then solve this, so 2 to the fifth equals 32, and 3 to the fifth equals 243. We could use the same method to evaluate another expression. Let's take through s over t raised to the fourth. So to expand this out, I'd have s over t 4 times. Okay, now let's write this all over one fraction. So I have s times s times s times s 4 times, and I have t times itself 4 times. Then again, using my definition of exponent, I can simplify this so that I have s to the fourth, because I have 4 s's in my numerator, and in my denominator I would have t to the fourth because I have 4 factors of t. So we can now write our rule or definition for the power of a quotient property. So I have my definition. So the power of a quotient is when you find the quotient of 2 algebraic expressions with the same exponent. So this is just like my power of a product where I'm looking at the same exponents, but in this case I'm going to be dividing their bases. So the rule for this would look as so. So if I have a to the m divided by b to the m, so I see I have my same exponents. I have an m in both my numerator and my denominator. I can then divide just the bases and have that raised to the common exponent. However, their b cannot be equal to 0. All right, let's try an example. Let's say I have 2 to the fourth divided by 6 to the fourth. So I can either leave it like this, or I could rewrite it as 2 to the fourth over 6 to the fourth. And since I'm dividing and I have my common exponent, I can then divide the bases raised to that common exponent. And then, of course, I could reduce that to 1/3. Let's try a different one. So let's say I have a -8 to the fifth divided by a -2 to the fifth. I can then use my quotient of powers, power of a quotient property to rewrite this. So I'm dividing my bases. So my base is a -8 and a -2. dividing my bases, and raising it to the common exponent. I can then simplify this, so if I have a negative 8 divided by a negative 2, I will get 4 raised to the 5th.